Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am representing Mr. Godwin Emefiele, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. Let me start by apologizing on his behalf. He had very much wanted to be here. That's why he accepted to come. But when duty calls, there's nothing you can do. He has to be at a very important meeting this morning. That's why you don't see Sarah. I want you to see Godwin when I talk. It's Godwin Emefiele, the Governor of Central Bank, that will be sharing with you. So what I intend to do is to share his remark. He had prepared a few things he wanted to share with you. So I'll just read the remarks and then probably just add a few things of my own, and then ask take remarks by Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria at the Teens Conference. Let me begin by expressing my pleasure at being here. I commend the organizers of this event, Trinity Life Parish and Mr. Segun Adeniyi, for the initiative to bring together key public and private sector officials whom I believe can mentor the next generation of leaders and innovators in our country. In my remarks today, I intend to share my views on some of the essential tools that are required for young people to succeed in today's world. I will emphasize in this regard some catchwords: dream big, hard work, focus, dedication to excellence, humility, and perseverance. Growing up, my parents recognized that the only way to brighten my chances of a better future was to provide me with a good education. I'm from an indeed humble background, and I witnessed the toils of my parents as they struggled to pay my school fees. I may not have had all the luxuries some of my peers had, but I had far-sighted and supportive parents. They never relented in reminding me that if I am attentive and worked hard, I could accomplish my dream of becoming a leader in finance. Seeing their sacrifices in foregoing some goodies of life, such as purchasing a new car, to ensure that I am not denied quality education, propelled me to succeed. I was fortunate to attend the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, where I obtained a bachelor's and a master's degree in finance. I subsequently became a lecturer in finance at the university. With the liberalization of the banking sector in Nigeria, I joined Zenith Bank as a pioneer staff in 1990. Together with the management of the bank, which I later on went on to lead as managing director, the same virtues that propelled me as a child, such as hard work, dedication to excellence, and perseverance, drove our efforts to grow the bank. Customers recognized the quality of our services, our inclination to go the extra mile to meet their needs, and our willingness to take advantage of technology in order to raise the bar on what they expected from financial institutions. Within the span of 25 years, Zenith had risen to become the largest Nigerian bank in terms of asset size. When I look back at some of my peers in school who focused on other things besides hard work and dedication to excellence, I saw a different turn in their life cycle relative to mine. For this and many other reasons, I remain eternally grateful to God and my parents for the principles they imparted in me. I attribute my appointment as Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in June 2014 to God and to hard work. In my new role as a policymaker, one issue that keeps me awake at night is how to create an enabling environment for our younger generation to utilize their God-given talents for the growth and the development of Nigeria. I would like to see a situation whereby a hard-working child born in Nigeria can be sure of a positive outcome when it comes to his future, relative to being born in the United States or England. He does not have to be born in the United States in order to become the next Bill Gates or Barack Obama of his generation. By imbibing the highlighted principles to success, he should be able to achieve his goal of becoming a president, a governor, an excellent soldier, a distinguished banker, or renowned economist in Nigeria, regardless of the circumstances of his birth. At the central bank, one of my key concerns has been how to ensure that our children, who are blessed with creative talents and skills, are properly nurtured. My experience as a finance specialist opened my eyes to the catalytic role of finance in the realization of dreams. Mark Zuckerberg, who created Facebook, which has over 1 billion users today, will not have been able to create this unique product without access to finance. At the central bank, we recognize this fact and we put in place a couple of measures to ensure that we reduce the obstacle on accessing finance to young enterprising minds. We set aside 220 billion naira to fund startups and existing micro, small, and medium-scale businesses at low interest rates. We also improve our focus on entrepreneurship development centers, which are geared towards educating people on the skills necessary to start up and manage a business effectively. In addition, we recently launched a youth initiative empowerment development program in partnership with the National Youth Service Corps for corps members either serving or discharged within the last 5 years to access up to 3 million naira to set up their own enterprises. All these measures are important in order to ensure that we harness the unique skills and talents each one of you possess. We hope to see a situation whereby transformative ideas can be created by some of you, such as creating a new way for people to improve agricultural yields in their cultivation of rice and maize or any other thing they are farming, or by creating new efficient ways to ensure people in the city can send funds electronically to their counterparts in rural communities. These ideas, when implemented, can improve productivity and create employment for a large number of Nigerians. But they can only come when you go the extra mile to improve your knowledge and work diligently towards ensuring that your dream become reality. The difference between an extraordinary person and an ordinary person is the little extra. A little extra patience, a little extra dedication, a little extra hard work, a little extra focus, and a little extra perseverance. We as policymakers will continue to aim at ensuring that you have the requisite tools to put your ideas into practice. Once again, I thank the organizers and participants of this conference for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and experience with you on encouraging the next generation of potential leaders in our country. God bless you all. Godwin Emefiele. Now, I'll just share one or two things from my own. Now I'm speaking as Sarah Alade, not as the Governor, Central Bank. I've always believed, one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Philippians 4:13. Can anybody read that? What does it say? I can't hear. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That means whatever we set our minds at doing, strength comes from the Lord. And we can do all things, regardless of the circumstances of our birth, regardless of our weaknesses, regardless of the limitations that we think we have. If we have that strong faith in God, we can do it. I'll just share two quotations with you and end up with one. And one is from Sheryl Sandberg of Harvard Business School. And she said, look for growth, look for impact, look for mission, build your skills, not your resume. Evaluate what you can do, not the title they are going to give you. At this age, what you need to do is build your skills. What do you want to do? A computer engineer, a medical doctor, whatever it is that you set your mind at doing, make sure that you possess the necessary skill and you go the extra mile. The skills are important. It's not the title that you have. When people see you, it's what you can deliver, and that's what propels you in life. Now, the second quotation, some of you who listen to Hillary Clinton will have heard her, is a quotation, I think, from the Methodist Church. And I love it, and I share it with my children. It says, do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. There's no way you do this that it will not come back and you will not succeed. In your efforts to succeed, you make sure that you also help people along the way. And finally, whatever you do, whether in school now or when you grow up, whether you are competing, whether you are applying for jobs, whether you are applying for positions, ensure that you do not mortgage your soul. It is important that you don't mortgage your soul in your efforts to become the biggest or the brightest or wherever you are, because that will always haunt you. So whatever you do, remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And remember that the soul is important. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses what? Loses his soul. Thank you very much.
Please, can we give a resounding of clap for Dr. Sarah? Thank you so very, very much. Ma'am, thank you. All right, so we're looking at the questions, and of course, we expect some answers. Do we have, where are the questions? People ask any questions? Could we have the basket of questions quickly? The future is for those who are ready to add the extra. I'm sure we all pick something to go home with. The extra makes the difference. Can I have the questions quickly, please? How do we build our skill? How do we build our skill? I think they are very interesting questions. How did you get the title doctor when you are deputy governor? Okay, teens, teachers, graduated 2010. How can I access the loan? How can I access the loan? We're able to get them, ma'am? You want to try? Okay, thank you.
But you probably have to read them again so I don't forget. Okay. Let me answer the question, how do you become a banker? In the banking sector, we have different careers. Some of you will go on to do banking and finance in the university. That makes you a banker if you work in the banking sector. Others will be accounting. We have accountants. We have people who have also done economics. I didn't do accounting. The governor of Central Bank today read accounting. I mean, he read finance, and he told you he read finance in University of Nsukka. I read economics. And I work in the research part of the Central Bank, in the research department. We do research in economics. When we talk about monetary policy, we talk about the things we're doing is from economics. So you can actually become a banker if you do any of those courses. And we have got people who went on to do banking who are mathematicians. They read mathematics, and then they join the bank, and then they do the exams. These days, if you want to become I mean, if you are in the banking sector, we also have some professional exams which we encourage people to do. And you can also do some of those professional exams. But you don't have to do banking and finance before you become a banker. You can do a host of other degrees, and then you join the banking sector, and then the banking sector needs people from different disciplines to be able to work in there. Sorry, what's the next one? Maybe I should get my glasses. How do you build your skills? Now you are in school. Whatever you can't build your skills just going to sleep or not passing your exams. You have to pass your exams, and then you know what course you want to do. Skills are different. We have different skill sets depending on the career you want to take, depending on what courses you do. If you are going to be a medical doctor, the skills you will have is different from that of an economist or an accountant. So whichever direction you decide to go, and then they teach you, those are the skills, and you want to become an expert in those skills. You want to make sure that you know what to do, and you do it very well. We don't want to have a medical doctor, for instance, who probably doesn't even know how to do his prescriptions, or he can't do a simple operation because he hasn't really committed himself to learning. So you commit yourself to learning and to practicing and to doing whatever your profession requires you to do. Somebody asks, why is it that I'm a doctor, seeing that I'm also in the bank? When you have a PhD, they call you a doctor. Not necessarily a doctor that gives medicine, but a doctor that has a PhD. So because I have a PhD, that's why they call me a doctor. And if you have a PhD in anything, whether history, accounting, or anything, you will have that equivalent of a doctor. What else?
What of your parents when they're against the things you set your mind to do?
And that's one. Somebody is asking, what if your parents set your mind to do? We have to appeal to parents. We have to appeal to parents. I know there are parents who are lawyers who will say, I want my son to be a lawyer because I want him to be able to carry on the practice. I'm a doctor, my son must be a doctor, and because that is where I want him. When we have parents who insist that this is the way children must go, then you don't have, the child might study it, pass it for the parent, but then you don't have them excelling in that area of it. So as parents, we must encourage our children to do what they are good in. We've heard of people who went on, who were supposed to read law, and they went on doing music, and they have excelled in that area. So whatever your child wants to do, we must encourage our children to do what they are good in. But children must also listen to advice. Sometimes you just feel you want to do this because somebody succeeded in it, but you probably do not have the passion or you don't have the skill to do that. So it is on both sides. Parents must encourage their children to do what they are good at and then go into the profession that they like. Must someone face challenges to become great? Don't take the easy way out. There must always be challenges. There must always be challenges. When I was reading the governor's speech, he was telling you of that little extra, denying yourself sleep, reading when others are partying. These are all kind of things. The time, sometimes the money is not there to even send you. There are people who have to struggle, who have to work their way to be able to get out of school. But the fact that you are even learning is a challenge in itself because you can't afford to do what others are doing. There will be challenges. It's only that the challenges that we face are different. The challenges I have is different from the challenges you might have. While others have money, others might be some other kind of challenges. But the important thing is that challenges are meant to be overcome. You work at it, you will overcome those challenges, and you excel.
Second to the last. Somebody admires you. Can I be just like you?
Can I be just like you? Wow, I want you to be better than me. I want you to be better than me. So you have, yes, we do have role models. We do have people we admire and think I want to be like these people. But I always say strive to excel and be better than them. So I hope you'll be better than me. And in a few years when I hear, I'll be able to say yes, that someone who is better than Sarah Alade.
All right, lastly, this has nothing to do with what we're doing here, but the question I think you should just tell us.
What is it? I can't read because of my
You
glasses.
said the Nigerian economy is drastically falling. The naira is being devalued. What is CBN doing to help the economy?
Thank you. And this is talking about what is CBN doing to help the naira. The naira is falling. I think I'm going to tell the pastor to invite me for a lecture. It's not a career thing. I'll come and then lecture you on this. But I'll say something briefly. You see, the naira is falling. The reason is that our currency, our currency is the naira. But there are lots of things that we buy that we cannot use the naira to buy. We have to then use the dollar to buy. But how do we earn dollar? You earn dollar if you have something to sell to people who have dollar and they pay you in dollar. In Nigeria, the only thing we have to sell is oil. That's the only thing we have, unfortunately. So when the price of oil falls, everything falls with it. We then earn less dollar. And if you have less dollar, those who want the dollar will have to then give more naira to be able to pay dollar. That's why the naira is falling. That's why, and for those of you who have done economics, you will have done the price is set by what? The interaction between what? Supply, demand, and supply. So if the supply of dollar is very little, and the demand for dollar is very high, what happens to the price? The price goes up. So the naira then falls. But what is central bank do? What are we supposed to do as a nation? As a country, we should have more goods to sell so that we can earn more dollar from outside. It shouldn't just be oil. We should be able to sell our rice. We should be able to sell our yam. We should be able to go and grow some other things that we sell. And when we have more things to sell or to export, to use the language, when we have a lot of things to export, then we will earn more dollars and then the price of the dollar will be lower. What are we doing as central bank? We've been doing a lot. I just read some of the things we're even doing to be able to encourage youth to get into business. What we are doing now is to try and make sure that the environment is good enough so that we will have people who will bring their money to invest in the country. We cannot develop alone. We cannot develop with our own money alone. So we need investors to come into the country to be able to help us. But central bank is also encouraging. We are supporting government's efforts to diversify the economy. Diversification means getting the economy not to depend only on one item, but to be able to have many items to export so that we earn more dollar and then our naira will be strong. Thank you very much.
I think we just round up with this. The long one, so based on CBN Youth Initiative for Youth Corp members and service to start up business with 3 million and who are qualified for
Read it to them. Those who are qualified for the youth.
Who are qualified for this loan? Is it only Youth Corp members that are qualified for these loans?
The youth empowerment program is only for you. The one we have done was just for youth corpers. We do have other things for those who are not youth corpers. And we said if you are a youth corper graduating or you have graduated in 5 years, within the last 5 years, and you have some fantastic, some very good ideas of what you think you want to set up, you are then qualified for the 3 million. And if you go onto the website, you can apply online for this and then you'll be able to get it. So thank you very much. I think that was the last one.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Let's round up with this. What are some of the things you did in your spare time while you were younger, which you think aided your development towards becoming who you are now?
The question is asking for what I did in my spare time when I was younger, which aided my development to be, and I love that. I went to a girls' secondary school, an all-girls senior primary school, an all-girls secondary school, and an all-girls higher school certificate. So the kind of exposure or that you have is different from if you are in a mixed school. And at your age, one of the things we are encouraged to do is to read. Apart from reading what you are doing for exams, you have to read novels, you have to read things. And I also took, one of the things that I also took seriously with from home was being a member of the Fellowship of Christian Students. That engages part of the things I do as well. So if I'm not reading, I'm also either attending that. And I also did love sports when I was in the secondary school. So I did a lot of these things that were healthy and did help development. In a girls' school, you also have groups. You talk. Don't make sure that people of like mind, people who share your ideas, are the people that are your friends. You will then encourage each other. And I could tell you today, some of those friends that we were together in the group, I could tell you where they are. Because then we share ideas. I want to become a doctor. Not all of us went on to become what we wanted to when we were 12 or 13 years old. But we did go on to become someone that people that will be proud of. So your spare time, you need to use it. Some of us these days, we spend the spare time watching television 24/7. We can surf the globe from morning till night, looking for nothing in there. If you do that, you are not likely to have time for your studies. You are not likely to have time for things that will develop you. Some of you are here today. Others who should be here are probably somewhere else. So you have to develop yourself. Body, soul, and spirit. They go together. Thank you.